Who's more likely to be ashy?
Deontay.
Yeah, because I work out.
Today I'm joined here with my brother and his wife, Sierra.
Hi, guys.
What's going on, y'all?
Yeah, so today we're going to get into a conversation that I wanted to talk to them about for a while now, but now that they're actually, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months in, we're going to talk about marriage and, what that entails, the journey of it, the good and bad. Well, we're just going to talk about it. We're not going to get too deep. We only got how long's that thing on the oven? Yeah, we got 26 minutes. We got some stuff cooking. So, yeah, but let's get into it. So, how y'all doing?
Good.
We doing pretty good, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Very good, man. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, yep. They don't know it's going to be on Wednesday when they get this, so, hey. Yeah. All right, so let's get into it. So, let's start from the beginning. How did y'all meet?
Oh, that's a good question.
Okay.
Yeah.
We met at a mutual friend's birthday party, and he annoyed my soul the first time we met. He had just gotten out of a car accident, and that's all he talked about was his injury and stuff, and he was annoying. And then we ended up crossing paths a few months later, and he was like a whole new person. Fresh haircut. He didn't have his crutches anymore. Yeah.
Pretty much, I pulled out all the stops.
You're like, boom,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's funny that she said that because we initially did not like each other. I was not. Apparently, I think what happened with her is she didn't have her hair done, and so
I had my fro. I
had
had my hair done.
and so I'm just like, nah. But funny, I seen her friend, and I was actually trying to talk to her friend, and so that didn't happen, obviously. And then, like she said, a few months later, voila.
Voila, just like that. Okay.
Well, initially, she made me wait 6 months to actually start dating, and disclaimer here, but I actually ended up chasing her.
That's not a disclaimer.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
Okay.
A lot of cats out there that be like, I didn't chase. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Okay, fair enough. Now, how long did y'all date until you were considering marriage or getting closer to actually being married?
So you want to?
No, you wanted to marry me.
Of course.
When did you get serious about it?
So me and Sierra, we've been together for 7 years. And unfortunately, it took me a long time to propose to her. And I think for me, me growing up in the type of environment that I'm used to, we didn't have an example of people that got married. And so looking at getting married, it kind of intimidated me, it kind of scared me. I just seen a whole bunch of people just kind of shacking up and whatnot, and that's what I was familiar with. And so the term marriage was beyond me. And for me, I'm just like, okay, when we first got together, we were just kind of hanging out, just dating, just kind of doing our thing, I guess. And then I think some life happened to me and her, and long story short, I figured out why I wanted to spend the rest of my life with you. And and I stopped being afraid, and I stopped being immature, and I had to grow up. And so I took a leap, and I realized that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with you. And sorry, it took me 7 years, but I mean, at least it wasn't 8, But yeah, hopefully. Go ahead, babe.
Honestly, I'm kind of the same situation with Deontay. Coming up early in life, it was just my mom and us. And then she kind of went through a couple of marriages. And this final one, her current husband, she's been with since my youngest sister was in kindergarten or started pre-K. So that's about 16, 17 years. Her current husband, and he's amazing, but pretty much I didn't really have a father figure. I didn't really have a consistent male figure in our lives, or that type of what marriage looks like, in my family whatsoever. And honestly, how things kind of panned out with me and my father, I wasn't one that wanted to shack up. Like, we didn't live together until we were married or anything like that. And it was pretty much as I started to learn things, to grow up and mature and know what I wanted for my future, I got a little bit more serious in terms of wanting a marriage before Deontay, but I never pushed it at him because I knew any longer we probably wouldn't have been together much longer, to be honest. But I kind of grew up more so, and I started to know what I wanted. No kids in my 30s, built a lot of building and hustling in my 30s and whatnot, and going from there. First time parent probably at 32 was the plan, but I wanted a 2-parent household for my kids, and yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Seems like y'all had to go through some stuff in order to get to where you are right now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so build on that. Let's talk about psychology.
Okay.
Because psychology, the mental aspect of marriage is one thing that a lot of people don't consider. It's like understanding your partner, understanding yourself. Let's talk about a bit of psychology and like how that has helped you. We'll say therapy, like marriage, like counseling and all that.
Gotcha. So a couple of our videos that we talked about, we do have a couple of videos on YouTube about premarital counseling. We believe that is very beneficial. We highly recommend it. That helped us out dramatically. There were areas in our lives that we necessarily could not bring out, and so by having a counselor or a mentor, they were able to kind of expose to us areas that we were either weak in or we need to get stronger in. And so for me and her, like, it was crucial because it made our marriage better than, I would say, than a lot, like, because a lot of people take premarital counseling for granted, and that's something that I would suggest everybody, going through, because you don't know what you don't know. And by having someone express to you that, hey, you're kind of weak in this area, won't you figure out why you're weak in this area and how can you either A, become better, or how can you get better?
Kind of piggybacking off what he said with you don't know what you don't know. A lot of us in the dating world, you always want to put your best foot forward. And a lot of areas you might not necessarily go below the surface level in terms of getting to know that person. And when you don't dive deeper, it kind of leaves you vulnerable in those areas, so that as conflicts or obstacles and stuff arise, if it's something you and your partner never kind of work through or digress, or even, if you don't know how to handle certain situations as they come up, it's caused a lot of conflict and strife, to where a lot of couples just call it quits, in all honesty. If you don't know how to deal with people's emotional baggage, people have traumas, or their upbringings might be different. So as those things clash and, hit you the wrong way in that relationship, if you don't know how to maneuver that as a couple, it could be very detrimental.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of the areas and stuff that Deontay's hitting on, just because we didn't know different things about, like each other's upbringings, just because either it never came up in conversation, or we weren't brave enough in our dating to kind of be vulnerable with each other. Correct. To get to know that stuff. So our counseling occurred during our engagement, and in all honesty, we were engaged 14 months. That was probably the biggest year of growth and getting closer and stuff than the entire amount of our entire relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, babe. We just recommend it for everybody. Because like what Sierra said, you don't know what you don't know. There's so much more we can kind of go into, but obviously this is your show. So.
It's all good. All right, then. So let's move on to something a little bit more fun.
Okay.
So I got a few questions for my brother and my sister-in-law.
Whoop, whoop.
All right, so here we go. In a relationship, who's the person who spends more time in the bathroom?
Deontay.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
It's all good, bro. Yeah, we're not here judging people. All right, who's the pickier eater in the relationship?
My wife.
Yeah.
Okay, all right then. Who's more likely to be ashy?
Deontay.
Yeah, because I work out.
Who's got the best booty in a relationship?
Deontay.
I do got a dub truck.
Okay. All right. Now, let's say if there were 15 seconds given to both of you and you guys had to dance battle, who would win?
Me.
No. Heavens no. I would win. I would demolish you.
I would save our lives in 15 seconds.
No, it's similar to that cruise that we went on and we were dancing and
You're just not shy. You'll go out and dance in front of people, but I'm a quality dancer.
Yeah.
If you consider, I don't consider twerking quality at all. I'm sorry. Anybody, I can twerk if I wanted to.
Twerking is a skill.
You know what I'm saying?
So people who can twerk like on their knees and like their booties
It's
like
muscle.
that. It's like, what?
I mean, twerk.
And don't take any offense to this, whoever it is. Who's the real boss in the relationship?
We're equal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say we're equal because there's times where, if I'm being honest, I don't really want to make decisions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, babe, can you step it up? And then she'll make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's times that I'll be like, no.
Mm-hmm.
This is what me and Sierra believes. I've said this in one of my videos. I'm going to say it again, but I'm the man of the house. And so, therefore, if we succeed, it's my fault. If we fail, it's my fault. With that being said, it's a 50-50 or 100-100. Like,
we both make the decisions, and he'll take responsibility for the outcomes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right, so we can blame him.
Yes.
Pretty much for anything, whether it's good, bad. Like, we went to Florida not too long ago, and we had to drop some money because the whole COVID pandemic and whatnot, and Southwest, they were literally canceling flights
left and right.
And so we had to put away some money just in case they canceled our flight. And so I'm like, babe, let's save this money over here, and it's something we agreed on. But yeah,
Jumping back into the interview. Now, I want to go back into, I was actually watching one of your videos, and you guys touched on briefly about the importance of transparency and vulnerability.
Yeah.
So I want to get into vulnerability because that's something that I've been working on myself this year. And, it's not easy. It's uncomfortable. It's like, stop it. It's like, I don't want to.
That's funny.
It's like, no.
You sound like your brother.
Yeah. So, like, being more intentional about being vulnerable in your relationship, has it helped to have you notice a difference as far as, like, you opening yourself up more and, being more vulnerable and open?
Yeah. You want to touch on that, babe?
It's easily changed a lot of things, especially, your brother. He's very, he could be cut off or detached. He might not express himself, that type of stuff. And that was definitely a huge, yes. It was a huge issue, especially early on in our relationship, because it was like playing tug of war with him. Or if he did finally cave in and, try to open up to me, once again it was surface level, or he'd only do so much, and then you could tell we're about to have an epiphany or something, and then he pulls back.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Versus now, going through, like he said, some life happened. We've been through some things and whatnot, and even through our premarital counseling and whatnot. We appreciate our mentors because they set up that safe space. It was that open environment for us to both share our hearts. And it was like once he started talking to me in that realm, it was like the floodgates. And to this day, it's I'm still learning stuff about Deontay.
Yeah. I guess for me it's just that, like what you said, bro, that is extremely hard because as men, we has this mentality to, want to fix everything, or we want to be, we don't want to show weakness.
Yeah, we want to be strong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, unfortunately, I fall into that category. And so, for me to try to open up to my wife was extremely hard because I didn't want her to view me as someone that's weak. And so not understanding that doesn't mean you're weak. That just means really you're not communicating and you're not opening up. And so what we learned as we went through premarital counseling, I learned how to open up, express my emotions, and explain to her of certain situations, whether that's, hey, I'm feeling A, B, and C, and then we'll kind of have dialogue on it, and then that's where that transparency comes from, because she has a different perspective and I have a different perspective, and then we can get to the same perspective by communicating, and then from there we can come with a solution and then move forward as a couple
and build trust.
Oh yeah, trust is key.
Trust. All right, cool. All right, then. So now that you guys have been married and been in a relationship for probably a little over 8 years now, more or less.
Almost a decade.
Yeah, almost a decade. Now, what do you love most about your partner?
Good question. Let's see here. I'm conceited, so I love I would say I love my wife's growth. She's came a long way. From dating, from her living in Lincoln to me driving all the way there to see her and steal my mom's car because at the time I didn't have a car. Hey, if there's a will, there's a way. Okay. But no, I love the fact that you have blossomed into a beautiful woman that I can call you my heart, my soul, and so I love you. And you've grown so much. You are what I prayed for, and I'm blessed to be with you, and I never take that for granted. And I love you.
Love you too.
Aww.
My favorite thing about Deontay is easily his sense of humor. He's a people person. He walks into the room and everybody's his friend. And I'm super kind of more closed off, or once I know you, I'm excited, but I'm kind of that person that's just gonna chill on the sidelines, and he's just going leaps and bounds. He's meeting people, his cackle, and all that. Somebody's laughing when Deontay's around, and I really like that about him.
Yeah, that laugh. Yeah, we all know. I can hear you on the other Walmart. It's right? Going forward into your relationship, what do you guys hope to see, or what do you guys hope to build?
Ooh.
We are knocking out debt.
Of course.
That financial freedom, just, not owing anybody nothing. So once we get that foundation and start building our wealth, it's literally the sky's the limit. Start our family, travel, whatever, but literally just not owing anybody that freedom is probably the biggest goal I'm excited that we're running towards.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say, bro, like what my wife said, we are striving to be debt free. We've paid off a few things. And that's our goal, our goal is to be debt free by next year. And so we are on pace to do that. We've obviously learned how to live below our means and whatnot because I want to be able to provide for my family. And so I don't necessarily want to be rich or anything like that, but I want to be well off. And so I want to be able to take care of her. And then obviously when we decide to have a kid, you can be an uncle again. And so honestly, for me and Sierra, like we're still young. We don't have any kids. We're not tied to, where we at. And so we're going to keep striving. We're going to keep doing what's best for our family and obviously honor God. And I do see our future being like we're going to change legacies. Or excuse me, not change legacies, but we're going to change our family tree. So pretty much we're going to change.
Leave a legacy in the family.
Thank you. Can't talk right now. I'm on camera.
It's all good. It's all good. Well, I want to go too much further because I know we got some food that's in the oven that we're going to eat pretty soon. But so would you guys like to share a little bit about your platform, Living in Truth, I believe it's called?
Thriving in Truth.
Okay, we're going to take that out. Thriving in Truth. So
yes.
Yeah.
You want to go
So right now we just started our YouTube page earlier this month. It's called Thriving in Truth. We're working through that platform, prepping to get a website and stuff ready, and we're excited for where social media takes us.
Absolutely. So yeah, we kind of our goal with that channel is to impact relationships, talk about financial freedom, kind of show you ways of how we're kind of getting out of debt, and maybe that can work for you guys. We just kind of want to be a beacon of hope for I'll say it, for young Black couples that are married and whatnot, and obviously everyone's welcome. Like we don't care. We feel free. If you have any advice for me or my wife, just shoot us a comment down there. Let us know, and we would love to have you, and we'll go from there.
All right, cool. Well, I want to thank you, both of you, Sierra, Deontay, for jumping on the platform, sharing some of your experiences and the things that you have learned on your journey. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem, bro. Appreciate you for stopping on in.
Hey, All right, then. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and joining. Please share, like, subscribe, and yeah, leave a comment if you want to. But I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Bye.